Diddy trial is still going on, and the only thing they've been able to prove is that Diddy is crucially insane. He got mental problems that we never thought he had. We thought he was just a playboy that liked to party. Nothing serious. Couple of drinks, couple of girls, couple of guys. We didn't know he needed every drug known to man. We didn't know that he was so obsessed with baby oil. We didn't know that he was freaking off with Cassie and Cassie alone. I would have thought every celebrity in Hollywood was in the bed with Diddy. Come to find out, nope. He's just like Diddy, a male escort, and a big bottle of baby oil. The trial is going on. It's not stopping no time soon. People wish it would stop because they're not providing any information that can prove that he deserved to spend the rest of his life in jail. But one thing for sure, they proved that Diddy is without a shadow of a doubt one of the most craziest people in the entertainment business. They found a bin of baby oil, dozens of bottles of lubricant, a rubber duck found in a closet of his Miami home. I guess they just like exposing people's dirty laundry at this point. They want the world to know exactly what's happening in his house, exactly the supplies he have on hand for whatever festivities he's into. They could take any one of us and expose us for the things that we have in our possession, and it'll be embarrassing. Some of y'all do shopping that y'all know y'all ain't got no business doing. A lot of y'all hoarders, especially y'all women out there, got 500 pairs of shoes and only got 2 feet. If they wanted to make y'all look insane in court by your belongings, they could do the same thing, man. A handgun and bullets found in guard area of the Miami property. Hey, man, people do pack guns. Guns do sell. Bullets sell along with them. Kid Cudi is not testifying in court today. They expecting him to testify tomorrow. Defense, they seeking to minimize the gun evidence. If he ain't kill nobody or shoot nobody with the gun, who gives a damn about him having guns? These guns ain't never even been fired before. But since he had them, they trying to make a crime out of that. Don Hughes took the stand and gave his testimony. You had Don Richard, you got Don Hughes, you got Don King, you got everybody named Don taking the stand. And one thing I noticed about this Diddy trial is it's not a whole lot of black people taking the stand. Unless you're a celebrity, you got to sit your ass down. Dawn Richards, the only sister to take the stand, and some dude that wrote a book by the name The Punisher took the stand. When it comes to the black people taking the stand in the Diddy trial, it's all comical. We're about to get into a whole lot of news. I need y'all to do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button too. Without further ado, let's get into exactly what they've been talking about. Y'all ready? I'm ready. Let me know if y'all can hear me out there. Here we go.
Day 8 of the Diddy trial. Walk us through what agents say they discovered at the Star Island mansion, Ray.
So a gentleman by the name of Gerard Gannon was the lead person from the Homeland Security Special Agent investigation at the home of Sean Combs in Miami. That was in March of 2024. And he testified to what they were able to find in the house. The jurors saw the actual exhibit. So there were times where Mr. Cannon, Special Agent Gannon, was able to open up those plastic bags and show the jurors exactly what was found inside the home of Sean Combs. So more drugs. We've already heard that Sean Combs, from other witnesses, did drugs, had drugs. This is the first time that the jurors were able to really see some of the pictures.
Was he selling the drugs? That's the question. Did he have this stuff for distribution? Because if not, it's no point in putting people personal business out there. It sounded like he was using it for his own consumption. It wasn't for public consumption. It's not like he had them bagged up individually for sale. And that's why I don't understand why they showing all this stuff in court. How is that going to incriminate somebody because he's a millionaire and he got drugs? People in the suburbs right now, that's where you find all of it, in the suburbs. I mean, it's in the ghetto if they dealing it, but as far as people having it on deck just to be there, just in case for a good time, whatever, to cope in life, Rich people got it. He ain't the only rich person that got a stash. You got broke people that got a stash. Or people barely making it got them a little stash or something. People got personal balls or whatever the case is. People got some that help them get over the weekend or whatever. That's your personal business. But for them to go up in his house, go up in his personal stash and bring it to the court, I don't know exactly what they're trying to prove besides this man is crucially insane.
And then the confirmation from the special agent about what these drugs were. So he described blue pills, black pills, orange pills, pink pills, and many of them testing positive for cocaine, ketamine, MDMA, and other drugs like that. So the jurors heard more about the drugs and also sex toys. There were a few sex toys that were found inside the bedroom, as well as a total of 18 platform heels.
That ain't nobody business what he got going on. He into some kinky shit. He got chains and whips on some Rick James shit. He like them girls to put on them pumps, them little hooker shoes, stripper shoes, all that. He like that type of stuff in the privacy of his own home. He got his own little personal strip club in there. They act like they ain't never been to Spencer's. You ever been to Spencer's, man? You go in the back of the store, they got all that up in there for people to buy. It's not illegal. It ain't incriminating. Ain't nobody gonna do life in jail for buying shit from Spencer's, man. People order this stuff online. Trust me, you go under some people's beds, you'll be surprised what you find up in there. People have stashes. They went up in his house, went through all of his personal belongings and brought it to the court so they could put it on TV. Is that justice? Unless they got some blood on these sex toys. And even if they did, hey, sometimes you get freaky. If it's consensual, it's consensual. We ain't seen nothing non-consensual yet. What's the point in all of this?
What this is supposed to prove, we will find out, but it was a little bit more of the same in terms of what we've heard, but now the jurors were actually able to visibly see it. Throughout this time, when they're showing these drugs and whatnot, I'm looking at Combs' expression. He's pretty stoic. And then I also noticed that during this testimony, 2 of his sons actually walked in. So we weren't sure if we were going to see family members, any of his children today, but we did see 2 of his sons.
They need to just lay low. They walking in and out. They coming back with snacks. His son's lollygagging in the hallway. They just there to be there because they ain't got nothing else to do. Let them people handle what they got to handle. She says she don't even know why they showing them this stuff. They should have gave the jury some 3D goggles because they ain't doing nothing but giving them a show. They ought to provide them with free lunch, popcorn, 3D goggles, headphones, all that shit so they can have the IMAX experience. They showing them all this stuff like it make a difference.
Those photos that jurors were able to see today of that Miami raid, we saw many images of guns. What really does that mean for Diddy, if anything at all? What are they trying to prove with photographs of so many weapons?
So again, I think this speaks to the coercion and the violence, the threatening, those sort of things are elements of the crime, and that's listed in the indictment. We saw a .45 caliber gun. We saw the receivers for an AR-15. And something that the defense did on cross-examination is really question the special agent about why some of the pictures that we were seeing, why there weren't pictures taken before they unwrapped the receivers, for instance. So the defense making a point that some of these things were sort of put away, stored away. There was tape around them, that it was the agents that came in and sort of showcased it and showed the pictures, or they even made an example.
Man, people go to gun shows all the time. All they could do is look at the weapons and admire the weapons. Have they ever been fired? Were these weapons used in a crime? Where's the body? Who did he murder with these weapons? Why are we looking at these guns? Are they attached to some type of criminal activity? Was the serial number scratched off of them? Were they involved in a crime? They looking at this man gun stash. That's like somebody looking at your stash. For what? You probably only bust them things on the 4th of July or the 1st of the new year, whatever the case is. Hold on, I'm gonna shut up about it. Let's just get back into this because it's a point I'm trying to make here by playing this, man.
of how the investigators were in his bedroom, in Combs's bedroom, and then there were pillows strewn about. And they said, well, why didn't you take pictures before you guys started digging through different things? And they also made mention of that as it pertains to what they found in his bedroom closet.
And I mean,
So they fucked up his house and then started taking pictures. They wrecked it. When they came up in there, the house was perfect. It was nice, neat, clean. He got house service maids, all that. Spick and span. Everything was in place. They tore his house up from top to bottom. Then they started taking pictures just to make it seem like he was living in a mess. Like he's some type of hoarder. It's just drug infested. They try to make it seem like he was living like Whitney Houston, rest in peace.
there were images of his bathroom, and it was trashed.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff on that counter, but particularly there was a wooden box that had sort of a gold like medallion or pendant on it, and it said Puffy on top of it. And that's where, again, investigators found more drugs. Another thing, kind of to what the defense was expressing in their cross-examination, is the defense made note of how many agents were involved, in 80 to 90 total. So they were trying to say, okay, so this is this one person, this house, you know that he's going to be gone. You know, did it take 80 or 90 agents to swarm the house, surround the house, attack it by land and by sea? And the special agent basically said the first group was a very small group, but yes, there was a total in all of about 80 or 90 investigators that were involved. Also mentioning the 6 people that were at his home who were all arrested and handcuffed for about an hour.
And when it,
They was overly eager to go up in that man's house. They was overly excited. They all wanted to come. That's like telling somebody, I'm going to the store. They're like, we want to come. I want to get something. I want to go to the store. They all hopped in the damn, they ain't had nothing better else to do. They all went over there like they was going to amusement park or something like that. They was excited to go along for the ride. That just goes to show how infatuated America, for the most part, is with Diddy, man, and just being a part and taking his brother down. They heard about the Lambos. They heard about the Maybachs and the Bentleys. They heard about his lavish lifestyle and the parties. If they could be a part of tearing that apart, they all jumped on the ship to go.
comes to the guns, was he licensed to carry? Did he have permits for the guns? Were they legal?
You know what? I'm not sure about that, Rachel, but I can say that's a great question, because when you look at this criminal enterprise, there's nothing in anything that he has been charged with. There's no document in terms of what he's been charged with that has to do with gun violations. It's about, that sex trafficking, the criminal enterprise, the transportation of prostitution. So I'm not sure that is going to fall into whether or not he's more likely to be seen as guilty of those crimes.
So they gonna say he took them guns and held it to Cassie head and made her freak off. If it wasn't for these weapons, he wouldn't have had the power to intimidate these sex victims. He got his rocks off with the baby oil and the Astroglide, but it was the guns that ensured that he reached extreme ejaculation, Your Honor. He would have been never able to orchestrate these freak offs the way that he did if it wasn't for the manpower in these firearms, Your Honor. He held these men against their will to freak with Cassie, not for the money, but out of fear of these weapons, Your Honor. Hey, it really make me wonder why they want us to see this happening the way that it's happening. A lot of stuff don't make sense that's been going on as far as the government and the tariffs and a whole bunch of stuff happening. The weather don't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? People don't even understand exactly what's going on with the weather right now. So I think they're trying to make it the norm and make everybody delusional and accept it as the norm. And this Diddy trial is a prime example of that. It ain't got to make no damn sense. Just like the music we've been listening to for the past, I don't know how long, it ain't got to make a lick of sense, but you still gonna listen to it and you still gonna buy it. You still gonna dance to it. You still gonna participate in it. The food don't make no damn sense. You bite into a rotten hamburger, you like, this shit, they got it, the MSG. make anything taste delicious. They could take some food out the trash and put that MSG on it. You're gonna be begging for more. And a lot of that bullshit tastes better the next day. You be like, damn, this been sitting in the refrigerator for a week. Excuse me, I've been sipping on that Hennessy. You be like, this been sitting in the refrigerator for a week, and this tastes better than it did when I cooked it. That's because it got them MSGs and all that shit in there, man. It ain't got to make no sense. This woman trying to explain that, hey, it don't make sense. We know it don't make no damn sense, but guess what? It makes sense to somebody. We don't know who, but we got to keep this together just so it won't make no motherfucking sense. That's what's happening, y'all.
Gotcha. You mentioned the forensic psychologist, Dawn Hughes. She was testifying today. Why is her testimony important?
Dr. Dawn Hughes, this forensic psychologist, said that she was giving subject matter testimony. She was speaking generally about the abuse that victims face and how likely it is for them to stay in these relationships for a long time. She talked about things that they would deal with over a period of time when it comes to coping mechanisms or memory and things of that nature. So she was there talking directly to the jury.
Wait a minute. They brought in a psychologist that ain't got shit to do with the case just to help the jury through what the hell they experiencing right now. The psychologist, they trying to pull a Jedi mind trick on the jury. Like, look, we know this don't make a lick of sense, but you have to understand, the psychology of people is crazy, but it's supposed to be crazy. I know you don't understand what you're trying to comprehend right now, but trust me, the shit get crazy. They brought in a psychologist for the jury pool so they can find a way to cope with this ridiculous ass trial. Hold on, run that back.
Talked about things that Dr. Dawn Hughes, this forensic psychologist, said that she was giving subject matter testimony. She was speaking generally about the
subject matter testimony. I know y'all about sick of me, but whatever. I gotta look this up. I like to educate myself when I do my streams. Subject matter. Look, I need to get an understanding with it. Subject matter testimony. She got up there not to speak on Cassie. She never met these people a day in her life. She ain't connected with Diddy. She ain't been in no freak off. She ain't got no demo. They brought her up there to do everybody a favor and they try to explain what the fuck is going on, y'all. Look at this. Oh my God. Y'all see this? Let me make sure y'all in the groove too. Y'all got this? Y'all with me? Okay, here we go. Look. Subject matter testimony, often referred to as expert testimony, is the testimony of a witness who is qualified as an expert in a particular field. They got a psychologist up there and who can offer opinions and insight based on their specialized knowledge. This type of testimony is used to help the court understand evidence or determine facts in a case that require expert knowledge. A key aspect of subject matter testimony, expert qualifications. To be considered an expert, a witness must have specialized knowledge, skill, experience, training, or education in the relevant field. So the relevancy in this whole Diddy trial is psychology. Don't that tell y'all something? They trying to pull a fast one, man, and I don't like it.
The abuse that victims face and how likely it is for them to stay in these relationships for a long time. She talked about things that they would deal with over a period of time when it comes to coping mechanisms or memory and things of that nature. So she was there talking directly to the jurors. I noticed that she would look right at the jurors and explain, these are things that we expect when we're dealing with domestic violence victims, or this is why someone might stay, and this is how they might suppress memories in order to cope with certain different situations. But on cross-examination, the defense is really going in about the fact that she is not a, quote, sort of expert on the case of Cassie Ventura or other people that might be testifying. So they're making a point to say, isn't it true that even in your line of work, you are not supposed to kind of make generalizations about anyone? Sure, you can have your research and your experience, but they were very focused on making sure the jurors understood that this expert had not reviewed psychological material regarding Cassie Ventura, had not interviewed Cassie Ventura, had not examined anything that had to do specifically with this case.
So she was basically filler in the damn trial. They put her up there as a sideshow because they was waiting for Kid Cudi to come through. If somebody couldn't make it, they had somebody else to fill a slot. It's like a concert that they giving off. You got Diddy, he the main attraction. You got Cassie. It's a party up in there. Like, who else coming? They wasting each other's time. They might as well bring the baby oil and the Astroglide up in there. Because they playing with each other, man. This court case ain't nothing but a freak off. And they show up every day to see what the frick is going on. And it really ain't nothing happening. Huge is no stranger to high profile trials, whatever. Combs trial. Y'all see this? Let me make sure y'all can see what I'm talking about. Look at this. Combs' trial isn't the first time Dawn Hughes has played a role in dramatic legal sagas in the nexus of celebrity and power in the post-Me Too era. In recent years, Hughes has taken the witness stand in other high-profile sexual misconduct trials that drew national attention. When the whatever sex cult leader Keith Renner went on trial in 2019, Hughes was on hand to explain to jurors how serial sexual abusers gaslight their victims. He ain't no sexual, no serial. We talking about Cassie. Diddy don't run no damn cult. He run a record label. Legit money that was funded to him by the likes of Clive Davis. Where he at? If anybody, the ringleader, bring that old motherfucker, bring Dracula up in there and ask him how his ghoul turned out to be this way. 2 years later, Hughes testified that R. Kelly's federal trial, telling the jury that the R&B singer had subjected victims to psychological entrapment. Now she understands. Well, what the fuck she say about this man? Rainier was found guilty of racketeering, sex trafficking, and possession of child porn. R. Kelly was convicted in 2020. So they bringing her in to ensure a conviction. Like once she up there and explain it to the jury, regardless if it makes sense or not, the psychologist is going to be the one to determine the case, especially when she get her point across to the jury. Because now they don't understand what the hell going on. But the way she break it down, gonna convince them people that Diddy is as guilty as sin, even though they ain't got no damn evidence. So was she the one that convinced the jury that R. Kelly needed to go to jail, even though they had no evidence? They ain't had no video. They got more evidence on Shannon Sharp than they had on R. Kelly and Diddy. You ain't hear R. Kelly on the tape telling some little girl he was gonna choke the shit out of her when he seen her. Hughes reached a new level of national awareness after testifying at Johnny Depp Amber Heard defamation trial, but ain't nobody go to jail on that one. You know what I'm saying? Heard ultimately lost the defamation case, so it worked for Johnny Depp, but for the brothers, it ain't really work like that. She said it's common for domestic violence victims to stay with the abuser, psychologist said. Yeah, because they like getting their ass beat. It's just that simple, man. When somebody whoop your ass, you waiting for the get back. You'll stick around with a nigga. They whoop your ass, you waiting for the opportunity to whoop their ass. And that's how Cassie came up on $30 million. I ain't just gonna leave you after you whoop my ass. I'm gonna wait till you slipping. Snatch your drawers down in public and leave you out there pathetic. That's the smart thing to do. How you gonna take that L and just move on? And just leave the L out there in the street. No, you're going to stick with that L until you could bend that L into a W. That's why women stick around. They wait till you on your last leg and then they kick you in your ass. That's like that Tyler Perry movie when the chick was with her husband. He was all crippling shit. She flipped him in the bathtub. She was beating his ass the whole movie. But that's Negro here nor there, man. This shit is stupid. Let me see what else y'all talking about over here, because we got to get to some more facts too. Starting to believe all this in a conspiracy because it looks like they're setting him back. Yo, I'm starting to think that is bigger than the liquor company. I think this is for the public to eat something that we shouldn't be eating. You know what I'm saying? This Diddy case is like taking a vax. You gotta take, as ridiculous as it is, it don't make no fucking sense. Why is we dealing with this Diddy trial? Why is we being force-fed Diddy? Diddy is like the pandemic. And we all going through it right now. And we can't make sense. It don't make no damn sense. But people caught up in it. That's just the world we living in. Defense mechanism for abuse. Let's get back to this, man. Hey, them phone lines open too. Y'all call in if y'all feel like participating. If not, just sit back and enjoy the show. Here we go.
And the doctor said that that was true, but she was able to make some generalizations to help the jurors better understand some of the patterns of people who are victims of domestic violence.
But again, that goes back to the point of domestic violence, not sex trafficking and racketeering.
Right.
It is, right? And I think, again, there's this interesting sort of
Like a
thread, if you will, and there are so many different elements that the jurors are going to have to consider when it comes time for them to decide beyond a reasonable doubt if Sean Combs is guilty of the crimes that the government says he is guilty of.
Mhm.
But I believe that this sort of building up of the violence, the domestic violence.
Wasn't that man talking shit about Trump real bad? Let me look this up real quick because they talking about the government is saying this stuff. It ain't Cassie working with the government. It ain't got nothing to do with no victims. It's the USA versus Diddy. Hold on. What's going on here? Because when they did that inaugural ball, Snoop Dogg made sure he brought his ass up there to perform for Trump. And let me show y'all what I'm talking about. Yo, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe to the channel too, because I need y'all to do that. Yo, look at this. Y'all see this? Snoop Dogg aims gun at clown dressed as Trump in his music video. Anybody ever seen this? Snoop Dogg had a dude dressed like a clown, like Trump, and he aimed a gun at that motherfucker in his music video. Snoop Dogg aims toy gun at clown dressed as Republican Donald Trump in new music video featuring population of clowns. The video was posted Sunday, and then Snoop shoots at the clown dressed like Trump with a gun that released the word bang. The music video also shows a TV airing a news conference with the headline, Ronald Klump wants to deport all dogs, airing live from the clown house. Instead of the White House, he called it the clown house. And y'all remember, your boy Snoop D-O-double-G was at that inauguration. Look, I don't even know how to spell it shit. Inauguration. Man, don't be embarrassing me like that in front of the peoples. Look, inauguration. He was popping all that shit. And when Trump got back in office, him, Nelly, they had to get right. Trump came out listening to 50 Cent Mini Man. And Snoop Dogg got a lot of backlash for doing this. But hey, you ain't about to be popping off on Trump and think you're going to get away with it like that. Trump Hotel was Diddy's favorite, the former A said. So a lot of this stuff they accusing him of took place in the Trump Hotel, man. Look. Diddy hold freak all parties at Donald Trump's New York hotel. And here's what was said at the trial. So they've been recording. They got information on him. He was popping shit about Trump. And now look at his ass. Hold on. Look. Y'all need to see this. Because I'm trying to make sense out of all of this. Trump said Diddy was a good friend back in the day. And then Diddy came out and he was talking crazy about Trump. Where that's at? Diddy's favorite locations of freak offs was the Trumps. Diddy associates reportedly working on Trump pardon. Hold on. Look at this. Why are they trying to hide the truth? Reason Barack Obama was mentioned in P. Diddy case as a rapper actively seeking with him. Okay, they got all this new shit in there. But the point I'm trying to make is Diddy was talking real crazy about Trump when he was in office. And I'm pretty sure he overheard that man saying the stuff he was saying. And a lot of them rappers got pardons from Trump, but Diddy ass sitting in jail looking real stupid, wishing he would have got on that man's good side. Now, that's just a conspiracy. I don't know for sure, but you can't put nothing past none of them. You know what I'm saying?
The threats, the coercion, all kind of speak to the bigger picture of what the government is trying to prove.
So right now they're proving his character.
They're talking about his character,
Right.
they're talking about the behavior, but I really believe that this expert is there to help people understand that while we've seen text messages from Cassie Ventura saying she was willing and able to participate in some of these alleged freak-offs, this expert is there to say, well, there are times where a victim may go along with something because they're afraid.
No, 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 no. No. See what they trying to do? They want the narrative to be what they want it to be. I've seen countless interviews. Matter of fact, they recently did an interview with the Punisher, and they was trying to make him confess that Cassie was a victim, and he kept saying Cassie wasn't a victim. It was consensual. This man was intimate with her. He was there with Cassie and Diddy. He would know if she was a victim or not. It was Cassie that was calling him, excited for him to come. But still, and they caught an attitude with him because he wouldn't go along with their narrative, yo. Look, court breaks for lunch. Hugh just passes her testimony as the court took a lunch or whatever. So she came in there to smooth over the jury real quick. And that should be illegal for her to come in there. Ain't got shit to do with nothing. Ain't never met Diddy a day in her life to be speaking on him. Ain't never met Cassie. She don't know nothing about their situation. And still they let her come in the courtroom and sway the jury with her psychological nonsense. And y'all know, like I know, a lot of them psychologists be needing psychologists while they be talking. Yo, we need you to cut that off in the background, pretty please.
I apologize.
It's all good. It's all good. I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good.
That's what's
I
up.
was listening to your, you talking about, that the Punisher said it was consensual, but also in the, did you also listen to the fact that he told her mother that they had to come up with the $20K to recoup back what she owed him from him spending on her and, having her with him after he beat her blue and, beat her down. And her family had to take a loan out on their home, a home equity loan out to basically into him and then send it to the bad boy account. And then 5 days later, he sends it back. But the point is, you extorted money because he told them he was going to release a tape of their daughter to the world if they don't do that. So when people are afraid, and me personally speaking from experience as a victim of not what they were doing, freak offs, but just abuse and sexual abuse or something like that, you're going to do things, just in case, because retaliation, as we can see, looking at all these people like Kim, Albie Shore, Jamie, name them. You don't know what this person capable of doing. So you're going to be, I understand in the text messages she was saying what he wanted to hear, but at the end of the day, she's been with him and he basically molded her into certain things, into what he wanted. And you know how it can be when a person can, at 18 and you're 35, 40, you can mold a person to what you want them to be. And some things they know is wrong, but they go along with it just because they're afraid of what might happen if they don't.
I hear what you're saying, sister. And it's all about what you have in your deck. If you get into a car accident and you at fault, some people play them cards however they're going to play them cards. They'll say, well, hell, it looked like I'm at fault, but the truth of the matter is I came out and that person was coming towards me. The person that get in the accident, they always feel like they the victim, regardless of what they was doing. Why was you out there at that time? And now, did you have on the seatbelt? Did you look left? Did you look right? Did you back up? Was you paying attention? Was you observe? You got to be held accountable somewhere. But when shit gets sticky, people start thinking about them cards they have in their deck. That's why when it comes to victimhood, people weigh their options. Like, yeah, I went along with the shit, but shit went bad. So therefore, you can explain it how you want to explain it when it gets legal.
But I feel like to a certain extent, she still is a victim no matter what. She's still a victim for the simple fact she was beaten so much and numerous of times. And that's the part. It's not even about, and that's what I understand they're trying to, get the case to change and have a certain narrative. But at the end of the day, she was a victim of, she could have, like they said, she could have left in the town. If she left, guess what? Kid Cudi car blew up. So things happen to people, threats and things of that nature. So it's like no matter which she go, even if she left him and said, I'm at my apartment, he broke in her apartment and raped. Well, he didn't break in there, but, he went in her apartment and then she said rape her. So at the end of the day, she do take some accountability, and I agree with you. It's not all on him because some of it was consensual because she agreed to some of it. But when it comes to beating somebody or threatening them after y'all are through, but like they said, he never after they broke up or she left and he said we through. He still never had nobody. He was with somebody almost every night, still after him and her left. Yet you're still threatening me. About who I'm with, but then you can lay it with anybody you want every day. So it's like they both are in fault to a certain extent, but he's more in fault because of the way he went about things is, I feel like, concerning her. You know what I'm saying? I agree with you to a certain extent, because she got to take accountability too, because those text messages, I'm like, hell, she agreed to it and I missed the free calls and, but I'm thinking, he had her since she was like really young. So she, I guess she got used to it. And it's crazy as it sounds, but she actually sounded like she got used to it. She was enjoying it to a certain extent, even though it was wrong, and she know what was happening to her is wrong. Yet she went along with it.
I don't understand what was so wrong about it. She was an adult. She grown. You know what I'm saying? And as far as what they saying in court, he will hire a male to come through. And they do their thing. She
answered the door.
Yeah, she answered the door.
She answered the door.
And he be in the distance watching. And they, she was safe as hell. It ain't like the men came in there and took advantage of her. It was a
But did you hear when they said he used to pull her in another room, and if it was something that he didn't like or agree with, he would put her in the other room and yank her, hit her, and smack her around, and then she'll go back to doing what she had to do with the free calls.
The thing about it is, they have a personal relationship. Whatever went on between them two, they was on drugs. Have you heard crackheads and dope heads and people on drugs? They don't treat each other the kindest, man. That goes from the trailer park to the penthouse and downtown Manhattan somewhere. Drugs is if y'all on dope and y'all, into what y'all into, it's gonna be rocky. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, it was consensual. She was there for the ride. That's like if you go to the amusement park and you get on that ride and you go for that ride, you knew what you was getting yourself into. She had plenty of examples in Kim Porter, the women that he dealt with before her. She knew exactly what she was getting into, and she was going for the ride.
What? If she tried to leave, he wouldn't let her. And that's the whole point.
There would have been another. It's not like Diddy couldn't get nobody. It would have been somebody else to take her. So it was people dying, people in line waiting to get her spot, man. It's not like he was fucking Diddy.
Kim Porter did.
You said Kim Porter?
Why she did then?
Hey, man. The thing with Diddy and Kim Porter, she was popping before he was popping. She was dealing with people that was popping before he started popping. If anything, Kim Porter motivated him to get on his game so he could have a chick like Kim Porter. She was his motivation.
Like everybody that seems like they can outsmart him or do better than him or he feel threatened, he makes sure they go away. And that's my whole point. And just like they said, well, as soon as they gave him the people that was testifying against him, people started disappearing. People started, acting, and the celebrities, they're so quiet. Why are you so quiet?
Right.
They on one of those tapes as well.
That's
so
true.
All I'm saying is, I agree with you. We can agree to disagree, but I feel like she did agree to some of those things, and I 100% understand what you're saying. But when you're a victim of sexual abuse and things like that, or a person putting their hands on you, eventually, I was with a person for 12 years. He never physically abused me, but the verbal abuse is even worse. So I always say, I don't know why I stayed, because I had the possibility of thinking he would change. But and guess what? After that, I was like, I came to a point where it's him or me. And I had to choose me. But not everybody can leave as easy. And like you see, if you leave him, he don't want it. Like you said, he don't take no for an answer. So I can understand her point of view as well. So, you know, I appreciate you, and I'm listening, and I'm enjoying your conversation about this. But I don't feel like it was 100% consensual. Yeah, I answered the door, and she went through the things and agreed to do the freak offs and let people do those urinations and all of that. And I heard it and seen it on there and everything. But also, sometimes you got to take a step back and put yourself in the other person's shoes.
That's what's up. That's what's up. You know, and I agree with everything you got to say, because you got a right to look at it from that perspective, because he not a saint, she not a saint, but he not a saint. You know, two wrongs don't make it right. It was a lot of wrongs done on both of their behalf. So he not innocent in this situation, and she not innocent, but he had way more power than she had. So I see exactly where you're coming from.
And then also, the last thing I'm going to say, it's starting to rub onto his kids, the ones, you know, certain ones. So when your kids start thinking it's okay, that's when it becomes a problem. Because you heard about the white girl that was on that yacht, and he paid the yacht man off and everything because of what happened. So what I'm saying is, it's a repeat pattern, and it's a problem. So at the end of the day, regardless of what it is, you can have consensual sex and be weird, do whatever you want to. But also, if it's starting to, you know, like you said, Diddy can get anything body he want. Well, his son that did this to the girl yacht, she wasn't interested in doing that with him. Yet he thinks because he's Diddy's son, he can take it.
Right. That ain't right.
And it's not right. So that's what I'm saying. It's like a ripple effect. It's like it's starting to affect other people. And if you don't stop it, why the gun, you know, why it's hot. You know, before we could, you know, we got to put some water out somewhere where people can know. You can't keep doing that just because you got power, you got money. We are humans just like you are. You was at the bottom before you got to the top. And, you know, don't think because that's my father, I can do this and that to you as well. So that's all I'm saying. Well, he got to learn some type of lesson through this. I mean, even if he don't get all guilty, but and I feel like he is responsible for something.
That's true.
You know, it's not, you know, just something. That's all I'm saying. Because life, you know, you won't, you know, I can say you won't raise like that because they say his mama played parts and stuff too. But we were raised a certain way, you know, back in the day, you know, you don't put your hands on a woman or think, you know, how we was old school. But I know this world and generation is different. You hit me, I'm going to hit you back, regardless of a man or woman. You shouldn't have put your hands on me. So a lot of things has changed over the years, but I just feel like they're using him, and I'm agreeing on with you on this too. They're using him to set an example. You know, and it sucks, but you know, a lot of people are coming out. And I heard one girl yesterday, and when the girl was on the podcast, she was like, "Oh, the juror didn't believe." She was like, "I don't believe her, Dawn. I don't believe that." And I'm like, "Well, see, a lot of people don't believe it because it happens. They keep quiet because they, you know, they want to keep it going on, and nobody really talks about it. And this is the first time we ever seen to this extent on how bad, you know, the celebrity world is. Because you know, you don't know until you get there. So." I just pray for both of them and healing. And I pray that, you know, I'm just shocked, and I know this is dumb, that Cassie, even pregnant, after all she's been through. I'm surprised. That messes with me. Like, you've been through so much sexual violence and abuse, yet you're having a baby that, you know, you're having kids. And I'm not saying she shouldn't, but I'm like, you distraught, yet you still having a family. So I think about that too. I'm like, I would be scared to death, you know, after what I've been through. So at the end of the day, I appreciate you. I'm going to get out of your way. But I just don't think, I think it's both fault. But I'm showing through this testimony, he be like, damn, I should have paid her $5 million, not 30 after the things came away. But the way they laid it out when she first sued him, it looked completely different from the testimony. You see what I'm saying? It was harsher when she sued him and he went on to settle. Now you listen to the testimony, I'm like, damn, that wasn't worth $30 million. Sometimes she was okay with it or something, because the way they laid it out, like he did. But now, listening to her testimony, damn, he probably thought twice. He should have never given it 30 million. He should have gave at least 5 or 10.
Yeah, man, or something.
30.
Real talk, man. You know what?
Thank you.
Oh, so much love for you, sister, man. And the next time I go live, we need you to call back, because the way you explained it, now I'm humbled and everything, because, I'm agreeing with you 2,000%. I need to reevaluate what I've been saying this whole time. I got so much love for you, man. Make sure you call back the next time we go live, too. Real talk. Yo, hello. Who this is, man?
Yo, man, it's Tyler, man. Thanks for taking my call, man.
Oh, that's what it is. We got Tyler on the phone, man. What's on your mind, bro?
Yo, I wanted to address the last caller, man. Like, they talking about what they believe, you know what I'm saying, what they think happened, man. I think people forgetting we in a trial, man. We can only go by the testimony and what people seen, man. And I don't understand how she's saying she believed Cassie was forced to do anything when all the text messages we've seen, when all the third-party people like the Punisher that was actually there, everyone saying she consented. She's even on her own text messages saying she consented. So I don't understand where they hearing that she was forced from, man. I don't see where they getting that information when all the information in court is suggesting that she was cool with it, man. Also, to the people who saying that, oh, man, she was only 21, man. He was in his 40s or whenever when he met her, man. She was being manipulated, dog. What do these parents, man, moms, dads, what do they tell their daughters, man? I want you to get with a man with money, man. I want you to get with a man that's successful. I don't want you to get with somebody that's broke, that's trying to build something. I want you to get with someone who's already established. Who do you think those people are, man? They're older men. They're men in their 40s, in their late 30s that have their own businesses, man. So what I'm trying to say is, y'all saying that Diddy groomed her. I would argue that society groomed her to go after those type of men. Older men who had money. That's probably what she was taught since she was a child, man. And when she actually turned 19, 20, 21, and she was in a position to do that, she did what society taught her to do.
Hey, and not only that, bro, and not to cut you off, but I feel everything you're saying. And not only was she dealing with older, successful men, she was dealing with a lot of erectile dysfunction, which led into the damn freak-offs to begin with. Come to find out, the Punisher had erectile dysfunction. So you get with these older men, and they want to freak you off, but they can't. They got to bring somebody else in to do it. If she was with somebody her age, she wouldn't have had to be going through no freak-offs, because her man would have been too busy putting it down.
She probably wouldn't have had to deal with a lot of the stuff that she dealt with, because what people don't talk about, when you deal with a dude with money, that comes with a certain amount of control they want to have, man. That comes with a certain amount of rules that they gonna want in their household, man. But again, that's what society told. That's the type of man that society told her to go after, man. So you can't say you want those things, and when you get it, all of a sudden you a victim because of the rules that come with it. Should she have been getting her ass whooped? Absolutely not, man. But what I'm trying to say is, they saying he has control over her career. He has control over these certain things of her life. She didn't know that he was the owner of the record label when she started dating him.
But
she already knew he had control over her career, man.
But this the thing. They would have liked it better if Cassie would have took control over the situation. Diddy would have been dead broke.
But yo, what I'm saying is, according to the evidence, she did have control over the situation. She had control over the men that she slept with. she got to pick the guys that she wanted to be with. Diddy didn't participate in these things, man, to that extent. Only Cassie did. And what's offending my intelligence is I've never heard of a pimp paying a John to sleep with his prostitute, man. I ain't never heard of somebody sex trafficking somebody, paying somebody else to sex traffic a person, man. What I'm trying to get at is, how was he sex trafficking somebody when he was the one paying, man? That don't make sense to me either, man. So I know that they want Cassie to be a victim. I know that in order for her to be a victim, she have to fit a certain narrative, man. But all I'm saying is, I don't believe Cassie was sex trafficked because there's no evidence to show me that she was sex trafficked, man.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm hearing is that she was with an older dude that was in some freaky stuff. She didn't want to lose him, so she was willing to participate in this freaky stuff so that she could keep her man. But that ain't sexual trafficking, man. So that's just like a chick, man. She might not like giving oral sex, but her boyfriend like it. So she like, yo, I don't like to give oral sex, but I just do it because it make my man happy. So you telling me if
that's what they say, bro. That's what they say. It ain't what they mean. It sounds better than them saying that they enjoy doing what they enjoy doing, man.
Okay, but even if she not, what I'm trying to say is, let's say if she was doing that, and it ain't her favorite thing to do, but she do it because her boyfriend like it. If she do that for 10 years and then they break up, all of a sudden she was sex trafficked or forced. Even with the lady that just called, man, she said her man wasn't beating on her or nothing like that, but he was verbally abusive. But what I would say is, you still wasn't forced to be with him. You made poor decisions that allowed you to stay with him, but you weren't forced. And I don't think that being young and dumb and making stupid decisions in a relationship is illegal, man. Sometimes you have to grow, and you leave when you're ready to leave. And
well,
I ask you,
if anything, it's a lesson not only for Diddy and his kids, and it's a message for people that have money and power. You just can't use people like playthings, just because you got a bag. Diddy he figured, hell, I got $800, $1,200, have a man come over and fulfill my sexual desires, and I got Cassie to make it happen. It's sort of like, he the puppet master. And that's not good because
Barbie doll and he was playing make-believe.
Yeah, you just can't play with people like that, man. But you figure it was consensual, they was in a relationship, but how far do you go with this thing, with your manipulation and your power struggle? Cassie was young, her career wasn't worth a shit. Now, if she had #1 hits and she was really talented and she putting out shit like Beyonce, no way he would have been able to treat her like that. If she was up there like Mariah Carey and had a blossoming career, he wouldn't dare do her the way that he did her. She wasn't talented. She ain't had no business in the entertainment business. That's like somebody supposed to be a NASCAR driver, don't even know how to fucking drive. What you gonna do? You gonna pick her ass up, put her in the passenger seat, and you gonna drive everywhere that you want to go, and she just gonna have to go along for the ride because her ass don't know how to fucking drive.
Well, yo, now that you say that, man, I don't hear all the women that have successful careers like Mary J. Blige, like Lil' Kim. I don't hear them saying that they were abused or forced to be in freak offs. The only women that I hear saying that in his circle are women with failed careers who didn't make it, man. But let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
So for the people who believe that Diddy was running a criminal organization, that all the people around him played a part in suppressing Cassie and forcing her into this lifestyle, let me ask them this. The man that she's married to, the man that she's pregnant by, he was Diddy's employee. He was in Diddy's circle. He paid Cassie's husband to train her.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would ask you, is she still getting trafficked? Because she's still dealing people in Diddy's circle. He was one of the people allegedly who worked for Diddy. He was working with Cassie inside Diddy's house, man. The same stuff that other people are testifying they saw. Is it far-fetched to think that he saw those same things? So instead of leaving and getting out that situation, she met somebody in Diddy's circle and chose to leave with him, and she's still in that relationship. So I would ask them, if everybody affiliated with Diddy was a part of this, did she ever escape? Because she's still with somebody from that time, man. She's pregnant by him right now.
I feel like don't nothing slip past Diddy, especially when it came to Cassie. She would go to a party, he would find out about. I'm under the impression that he put that dude there so him and Cassie can hit it off. He left him with access so he can get involved with Cassie. He was ready to let Cassie go. It was his plan to move on from Cassie. He planted that man right where he wanted him planted, because if he'll pay a sex worker to sleep with Cassie, he'll pay somebody to personal train her, whatever the case is. He put him in position so they can run off to be together to get Cassie out of his hair.
Cassie and Diddy outgrew each other, man. She got older. She realized this. She didn't just want to do this forever. She wanted a real relationship, and she realized she wasn't gonna have that with Diddy, man. And my thing is, to your point, you said he and Diddy talking. She was still having freak off with Diddy. Remember, she testified that while she was with her now husband, her husband would FaceTime her while she was having sex with Diddy. So what I'm asking is her husband a part of this shit too?
Of course he is, man. He was in the fold. He was in the circle. He was in the entourage. They all in the same circle. But
exactly.
Right, but now I'm starting to understand what people mean by humiliation rituals, because they not gonna let you just walk off into the sunset with your bread. When he received his lifetime achievements and all of his great accolades, he had to pay for the shit he done one way or another, and he decided to pay for it like this. This is all his choice. He turned himself into jail. He the one that sabotaged his relationship with the liquor company. He been talking about it his whole career. More money, more power. He knew the shit was coming. So he just taking it on the chin like a G. I feel like they all got to go through it in order to finally bring it to a head. It's like dying. You have to kill the ego, man. They let him live this persona, have this bigger than life ego, and he rode it for as long as he could. Now it's time for the ego to die so he can live the rest of his life as a normal person. It was coming sooner or later. He just getting it out the way. And this is the way he would rather do it like this than over all the other real shit that all the real crimes he committed. He'd rather have this be a stain on his legacy besides the other shit that he really did.
Right, and to the lady that said he needs to go to jail for something, look, in my opinion, he done already paid enough, man. His reputation is ruined. He's a joke to society, man. Everybody know about his sexual lifestyle, what he likes to do. This dude already been humiliated. He's never gonna be looked at the same. The dude done already paid tens of millions of dollars to Cassie, and he got more pending lawsuits against him.
You know what, bro?
Opinion, what's up?
That point right there, I gotta capitalize off of what you just said, man, because you just said something that was very profound, man. And next time we go live, you gotta call back, because what he just said had me think about something real deep, y'all. And I gotta elaborate on this a little further. I want to thank him so much for making that point. And the point I'm trying to make right now is that we all victims. I ain't gonna front. I ain't got the money that them people at Cinnabon got, but I want what they got. And I'll be there to get it. It might not be the best thing for me, but I like it. I show up there, I put in my order. I don't know what it's doing to my body. Well, actually, I do know, and I don't like it. And I know it's wrong. But I'm still there for it. I'm worse than Cassie at a freak off. The shit good. And I want more. And I'm going to be back. People tell me I need to leave it alone. It's bad for my health and all that. Diddy is like a Cinnabon to Cassie. She knows she ain't got no business. Just like a lot of y'all know y'all ain't got no business. Some people go out their way to go get it. But I like it. But people get sick and ill off of these companies. This is the point I'm trying to make. People participate with bullshit. And then when they get sick, they want to play the victim. But you wasn't a victim when you was scarfing down all that BS y'all be eating out there. Look at this. We all victims. Sex, food, and sleep. That's all people care about. People go out there and get their fix. What happened when you get sick? You gonna cry wolf? You gonna blame the company? You gonna sue these corporations that been providing and profiting off of this stuff? We all victims, but if you choose to indulge, that's on you. But they making it now to where even if you choose to indulge, you can still be a victim. Especially if the person is black. That's the whole point of this, man. Because Diddy is black, you can get a bag out of his black ass. People will enjoy to let you, chop up that damn pie. Hold on, y'all. Yo, hello. Who this is, man?
Hey, sweetie. This is Gigi calling back with the dude that was like, oh, did you listen to the case?
You said you just called in before he called?
No, after. I heard him say to the caller that just called.
So you was the caller before he called?
Correct.
You was able to talk for 20 minutes and you want more, you worse than Cassie. This is not a freak off. At this point, you're gonna have to leave it in the chat, ma. Because this ain't no freak off. I let her talk. I bit my tongue and let her talk for 50 minutes. And she had the nerve to call back. Leave it in the chat. Better yet, I'm gonna text you his phone number and y'all could figure it out together. But this is the point out, and I do appreciate y'all phone calls, but please don't try me. I'm trying to be nice. I've been sipping that Hennessy. It ain't going down. I gotta take off my shirt. I'm mad. It's getting hot in here. Ooh. Whew. Shit. Whew. It got real hot. Matter of fact, call back. Because I'm out of gas anyway. The game about to start in a minute. I got me one of them strawberry salads or whatever. I'm about to get into that in a minute. Okay, this is what I want to get into. Y'all listening? Here we go. Listen.
So I feel like that's sort of what they're there to do. But of course, all of this, I think, will really sort of come down to those jury instructions. And I've been on enough trials to know that these jurors hear all of this evidence, but at the end of the day, it's going to come down to them listening very carefully to what the judge says. This is what you need to consider in order to find this person guilty on this particular charge.
Okay, let's switch gears here. When will Kid Cudi take the stand, and why is his testimony important to this case?
So this morning, the judge even seemed surprised when the prosecutor said Kid Cudi actually will not be testifying today. So it sounds like there's a bit of a scheduling conflict.
They said the judge was pissed off about it. He looking for some more of that celebrityism to come up in there to put a smile on his face. Why is they playing with themselves like this and wasting each other's time? If it was serious like that, if it was really some crimes and some murders and all that shit, they wouldn't be worried about a celebrity stopping by. She said the judge was upset. Like, damn, where the Kid Cudi at, man? Like, yeah, I went to get in the car. Boom, it blew up, man. Diddy said he was going to do it, and then it did happen. If that man get up there and snitch on Diddy, he already zesty. He better not. I can guarantee y'all, if Kid Cudi get up there, he not going to incriminate Diddy at all. He can't. He can't afford to do it, man, because he already too flimsy. Look. Y'all need to see this, man. They already looking to beat his ass out there in them shit. It's no block he can go down and feel safe. When they find out that he Kid Cudi, they going up in his pockets. Imagine him on the hardest block in Philly, and they find out who he is. They Google him, and he's sitting there with a dress. Not only is they going up in his pockets, but they gonna go up in his mouth. He can't afford to testify against Diddy. What he gonna say? Hey, he gonna have to come all the way out with it. What he doing with Cassie anyway? And bringing him in there further prove that Cassie is a weirdo. How you messing with Diddy, this ridiculous freak that whack off the Astro Glide in front of male escorts, and you cheating on him with a motherfucker that put on dresses and wear makeup on SNL and all that, do a whole rap performance with a skirt on, a blouse and all. Well, how's she the victim when she make decisions to choose the people that she be dealing with? She be dealing with people like this. She chose to date this man. How you gonna cheat on Diddy with this? You must like weird. You must like strange. You must like the abnormal. You feel me? She not the type of chick that's gonna fly straight. If Diddy like to freak off and y'all think that's weird, what about the other men Cassie been involved with? Bring his ass up there. I hope he show up to court dressed just like that. I hope he come in there with a blouse on and a gown with a face full of makeup so the jury could see there's a pattern here. And then they gonna say to themselves, well, maybe that's just what the fuck she like. Maybe she into that type of thing. She love a zesty man. Diddy ain't do nothing but be her type. But we gonna wait and see what he do. He might come up in court with the nipples out and everything, smelling all stank, smelling like booty. He might come up in court smelling like that. The judge might like that. Patchouli and booty. That's what he gonna show up to court smelling like. Look at this, y'all. She said that the judge was upset that Kid Cudi ain't show up.
Judge says this is what you need to consider in order to find this person guilty on this particular charge.
Okay, let's switch gears here. When will Kid Cudi take the stand, and why is his testimony important to this case?
So this morning, the judge even seemed surprised when the prosecutor said Kid Cudi actually will not be testifying today. So it sounds like there's a bit of a scheduling conflict. So it's not a matter of him not testifying, but we're not exactly sure when. But obviously a lot of people were thinking he was going to be here possibly today or even tomorrow. But due to a scheduling conflict, he's not here yet. But he is expected to still testify.
And the reason his testimony is important is because maybe there was overlap during the time frame in which he dated.
The fuck they let him reschedule? That's how desperate they is. I thought when it's a court mandate, you got to be there. He called the court and told him he ain't going to be able to make it. And they eagerly waiting for him to get there. Yo, hello, who this is, man? Whatever. He called up the court. Hey, whenever you can make it, buddy, we're all waiting for you to get here. We'll be stoked if you can show up and give us your testimony and the Diddy Trial. It really will help with the bills. You're going to be a fucking star, man. Like, what's going on? You can't make it? Okay, we'll reschedule. How you going to reschedule for a court case? That goes to show that this ain't nothing but a crock of shit, man.
Cassie, and perhaps she was with Diddy at the time.
So again, when you think about the elements of this crime, arson is one of them in terms of the racketeering, the conspiracy. And again, all of this is going back to leading an enterprise because of Combs' sexual desires. How Kid Cudi comes into play with this is Cassie Ventura.
How he gonna be leading a sexual enterprise when his employees ain't even know about the freak-offs? When Cassie's parents will pay $20,000 just to keep the damn tape a secret. If he could even toy with them like that, this shit was so secretive that Cassie was even shook about somebody finding out about it. She said in her testimony she ain't want nobody from the record label to know what was going on. In order for it to be a criminal organization, there had to be more people involved than Cassie and a couple of contacts that she had in her phone to come over and please her. They paid people to have sex with her. He ain't make no money off it. He wasn't selling Cassie to these men. And if it was any money exchange, it was some low dollars, man. $800. That ain't no money to a millionaire. It was consent. They had the stripper come up there and say it was consensual. He was performing for a couple. He thought he was under the impression that it was her husband that made this request. They treated Cassie with the utmost respect because her husband across the room staring the whole time. They had to be real gentle with the merchandise. They had to pay respect to that man over there whacking off. This is his fucking wife right here. A lot of the men ain't even feel comfortable with it. If anybody the victim, the damn male escorts the victims. They was freaked out. The dude wrote a whole book about it called Freezer Meat. He couldn't even get it up. Had erectile dysfunctions trying to please Diddy and Cassie. And they all said Cassie was so nice. She was so sweet. She was so eager. She was so pleasant. Cassie come to the door with a robe on, with nothing on, with the biggest smile on her face, like, yeah, like, bring your ass in here. That's what she wanted. And you got to factor in, do Cassie have an old soul? Is that what it is? For you fellas out there, y'all got to factor that in. There's a lot of younger people out here with old souls. I know I always had one. On Halloween, when I was a kid, I was the nigga passing out the candy. I ain't want to go trick-or-treating. And depending on what costume you had on, you get the best candy. If you ain't have on the costume, you got the little candy corn or whatever the case was. I remember it like yesterday. Some people got old souls. It's a possibility that Cassie is an old nana ever since she was 20. Y'all see, she like to wear them hoodies all day, every day. Cassie, she could be dusty for all we know. There's some dusty women out there that'll wear hoodies and sweatpants every day if they had it their way. She was in her first music video with a damn hoodie on. It be fine ass women that be dusty. You know what I'm saying? Just because they look good don't mean they ain't a tomboy or whatever the case is. You got some fine ass tomboys out there. All they want to do is play 2K and Madden. And it's a possibility Cassie was one of them type of chicks. Show y'all something. Let me get a good look at her, man. Because she probably, even though she was 20 in her soul, she probably was 64 years old. Like, come here, lover boy. She was acting like Lady Eloise when she was with Diddy. Like, I want a young one, a strong one to come satisfy me. Just because they look a certain way, ain't no telling what them souls was like. You feel me? But that's Negro here, no there. Yo, who y'all got winning tonight? Because I'm about to go set up this game. We ain't getting no more calls. I might as well just go ahead and call it a quiz. You feel me? But before I do that, I got to ask y'all, what's going on? All my NBA fans out there, who y'all got? The Knicks or Indiana? Look, I want New York to win. But that Indiana team is, them boys go crazy. That Indiana team, well, come on at 8 o'clock. I'm on my vegetarian shit. It almost been a year this time. So I got some veggie nuggets I'm going to put in the oven, put some barbecue sauce on them. I got one of them strawberry salads from Publix. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about before I get out of here real quick. Unless we get another phone call. But let me see. Publix strawberry salad. Yeah. Y'all got to see this, man. If you ain't never had it, I recommend that you give it a try. It is phenomenal. This one, you got to get that one. They got the blue, I think that's blue cheese with the strawberries, with the romaine, with the pralines, with the dressing. You get you one of these, boy, you're going to be real fancy with yourself. So I got one of these, put some of them little veg. I'm going to be eating light, you know what I'm saying? Little veggie nuggets and everything. And then be watching the next game. Y'all let me know who y'all got. And let me get my final word. Let me wrap this up before I get out of here, because tomorrow they looking forward to Kid Cudi coming in there. They proved that something ain't right with Diddy. But the truth is, something ain't right with all of us. If you had the money, ain't no telling how you would be living, man. Ain't no telling what you would be having people do. Y'all already got people out here door dashing, ordering Uber Eats, and you got a car. I wonder how them people feel when they show up to your house and you got 2 cars in the driveway and you just door dash some food. They got to walk through the driveway. It's 5 cars in the driveway. They got to walk past the cars to get to the door to deliver your damn food. Ain't no telling what people out here doing when you got money. Some of y'all order the groceries online, get to the store, park, had them come out, bring your groceries. If you could go to the store, then why you can't go in there? If you got money and you're willing to pay it, it's people willing to do whatever it is that you want them to do for the money. We take advantage. That's for damn sure. People in Subway right now telling people what to do to their damn sandwich. Diddy figure, hey, I got money, order an escort, order this, order that, order a man, order a woman, order whatever the fuck you want, order some sex. All it takes is a phone call. They got apps for that. Now he in court for some shit that people do every day. And if you had the money, you would probably be way worse than Diddy was. Cleaning up baby oil and liquor bottles in hotel rooms among the job duties, former assistant said, well, shit, you getting paid? Get your ass there and clean that shit up. Ain't like you doing it for free. You a damn employee. Earn a check. Earn a check. Court is adjourned for the day. Kid Cudi is expected to take the stand. That's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow, man. Kid Cudi, that's what they're looking forward to, man. They had to put a bunch of filler in there waiting on Kid Cudi. They tapping their feet at any moment now, man. But if Kid Cudi don't come in, we just ain't got no damn case. Y'all going to put him in jail or no? That's what they need to do. That's what they need to just figure that out. What we doing? Besides wasting time. But they schedule these trials to last for they already said they wanted it to last 8 weeks. And we in week 2, they already out of gas. Ain't no time. They might bring in Tony Busby with a lime green suit, a pink tie, some Bozo the Clown shoes, and let him bring in his 100 accusers and put the hotline back up so people could call in and make more accusations. Like, hello, Your Honor, I'm Tony Busby, and I'm here with more Diddy victims. They're going to have to figure out a way to make this shit stretch. They might go over his music. Like, we ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. We can't be stopped now. Herpes, Your Honor, herpes is what the song was about. You can see the scars around Cassie Ventura's mouth. When he recorded this song, he knew that Cassie was suffering from an outbreak. We ain't don't go. When they're gonna do an animated video with the herpes dancing in Cassie's mouth, talking about we ain't don't go in nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. Who knows how far they gonna push this shit? My man said Indiana. He got Indiana winning. Yo, I hate to agree with you, bro. But the Knicks is lazy. All them niggas fat and they out of shape. Every last one of them. Brunson, he fat. He out of shape. They could barely get up and down the court. Who that dude with the nappy ass head? Somebody need to put a pick to his head. They the laziest team in basketball. How the fuck they make it to the Karl Anthony Towns fat as fuck? They a team full of Luka Doncic. You don't know how they get it done, but they get it done. Nobody on their whole squad. I ain't talking about that squad. Nobody on their whole squad is in shape. Not one of them niggas, man. Just a bunch of lazy ass niggas hooping. That's how I know Indiana gonna bust their ass. Karl Anthony Towns look like he eat 2 Big Macs before every game. Be burping, running up and down the court, burping and shit. Whole squad sorry. But it is, they ain't winning shit this year, man. Yo, I think the Thunder gonna take it all. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that in the chat, man. I got so much love for y'all. We gonna be back with more videos. I appreciate y'all. Yo, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. Hit the notification button too. I'ma holler at y'all on my next